Guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Iron Obsession podcast. I'm your host, Anson, and today I am joined by Bobby Silverback and Max Hughes. Also, Brad Ferruggia, who will be joining us in probably 10, 20 minutes, something like that. But on the Discord server, I think maybe a week ago, something like that, we put it out that we were going to do physique critiques, or so I'm calling it a physique critique, rate my physique, that type of thing. But really, the point is to kind of point out some things to the person that can help them get better. It's not just to tear them apart per se. So we're going to get right into that. I'm going to share my screen. Well, first of all, before we get into that, anything new with you guys? What's been going on?
Max?
Nothing too crazy. Just continuing to make progress here. Eating a shitload of food, doing my walks in between all my meals. Holding about 257 or so right now. It's getting better and better. I don't think I'm gonna push up food or weight anymore. Just gonna keep solidifying. Starting to feel healthier and just very excited to prep again. And usually that's a sign that things are going really well, is that I actually don't feel like I need a big break, but I'm going to take one.
One thing I've noticed, dropping a little bit of weight now, it's funny how much different you feel on the way up than you do on the way down. Like, have you... You said 257, right? Was your peak like 260, right?
Yeah, and it felt awful.
Even just the 3 pounds difference, you feel so much better, don't you? It's fucking ridiculous.
I've slept amazingly the last 3 days.
Yeah, man. My sleep, all the problems I was talking about are pretty much gone. I'm waking up maybe 3 times a night now instead of 13.
It's wild. Body's just having natural diuresis right now, just constantly pissing out the water. Just partitioning food better. Pumps are better. It was getting to the point where I would do a couple sets of chest press, and I couldn't even do my lateral raises because my shoulders were too pumped.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but it's like a pump that's not even enjoyable.
I got the opposite. My pump started to kind of fade a little bit, and now on the rebound, I'm actually getting, or not rebound, whatever the fuck I'm in right now, pre-prep cruise, I'm getting actually way better pumps, and I'm not getting low back pumps anymore, which is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get grateful to not feel like absolute death.
Yeah, but I almost caught myself not appreciating it the other day. I was in the leg day, I was like, oh, you know what? I just realized I haven't had a lower back pump this whole workout. I should appreciate that.
I usually get it on the walk home. Like when I go to the car and I go up to my apartment to start taking a shower or whatever, it's like going up the stairs, trying to squeeze my glutes together, trying to purposely run the shower cold so that it cools off the lower back pump.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's going great, man. How's your current situation, Bobby?
It's going pretty good. Still in my cruise phase. I'm just taking full advantage of that. Progress in the gym is still going up. I haven't even had to titrate volume down or anything like that, which is pretty nice. Pump is still absolutely great. Food, no changes there. Added in SLU BP, which I'm a huge fan of, is the 500 micrograms. And I'll take that in the morning. And if I do decide to bump it up, I will take a pre-workout as well. Yeah. I feel like it gives a little bit more energy. It gives a little bit better body composition. It just changes things ever so slightly.
Yeah.
But in the best way possible.
It's very subtle.
Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of the subtle drug.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys get on a bit better with Clin than I do. It's an amazing drug, but some of the side effects can be not fun to deal with. Some people get really bad anxiety, feel really bad with a high resting heart rate. Some people, it barely even budges their resting heart rate, like you. I remember you had said.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see, my resting heart rate, so it's gotten up to, I think, 83, and that's 30 minutes after workout.
That's hilarious, man.
So it never really get.
I don't even want to say mine.
Mine, the highest I've ever seen my resting heart rate was for, mind you, this is for a week, 110. Every stimulant under the sun, just not good. Yeah.
I'm at about 88 right now.
I need to get an Aura ring too. Also, Honestly, I haven't checked my resting heart rate in forever because I used to check it with my Apple Watch, but now I wear that on my ankle for steps, and it's not accurate to do your resting heart rate on your ankle, obviously.
No.
Don't get the Oura Ring. Get the
I mean, yeah, I
the
just mean
Nova.
like a smart ring in general, not the name brand per se.
Well, because like Oura, you got to pay for a subscription.
Yeah,
I'm already paying $450 for this ring. You really gonna make me pay for a subscription?
yeah, I hate the subscription bullshit.
I don't want to read into those like heart rate variability things because I'll feel great on a day and it'll tell me to take a rest day and I'll feel terrible. It'll be like, hit it hard.
Yeah. I wanted
just that alone that I know will fuck with me.
I just wanted to see trends. That's it. Like, how is my resting heart rate trending?
Yep.
That's really it.
Yeah.
Really, while you sleep, that's the most important one to keep track of, honestly, which is why I want the ring. I can't do a watch while I sleep.
Yeah. So that's actually why I mainly have my steps, heart rate, and sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the HRV. I don't care about the oxygen.
No.
You know, and it is not effective. It's like trained by JP will say, he's like, I don't give a fuck what the HRV says. I'm gonna go and straight balls to the wall.
And how do we know it's even calibrated correctly for like people of our body type? Like, it maybe something there could turn off.
It can't be.
Yeah.
It can't be.
I never thought of that.
There's not enough people to do that study on, unless they made a specific one for bodybuilders, which they'll market for $1,000.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not paying that much.
No, absolutely not. Give me the one from China that's $100 and works.
Yeah, give me 9.
Yeah, well, if it's from China, it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can get right into the critiques here. So our first person here we got is Dom. His age is 28. Height is 6'1", weighing in at about 245 here. He's been enhanced for 2 years, 12 years of training. The past 3 of those years have been as a bodybuilder. So about 1 year of the lifestyle and then 2 years enhanced. Currently, what he's running is 315 test, which is very specific, 210 masked, daily injections. Good on you for that. He's planning on competing as a heavyweight bodybuilder specifically. He's never been leaner than 10% body fat. He used to weigh 320 all fat when he was 16. So he's already made a good chunk of progress.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just going to run through these. Just a couple poses we have.
Okay. I like that side leg.
Yeah. So just now that we've kind of glanced at all of them, let's look at the first one here and just kind of break it down constructively. What do we think needs work here? First thing that jumps out to me is adductors, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I was going to say, on a positive note, his quads are a standout for sure.
Sweeps are great. Great sweeps. Me personally, I hold a lot of my fat in my adductors back in the day before I had done a show too. When you get rid of that baby fat, they call it. So I would imagine once he gets a bit leaner, he's probably going to lose a little bit of width here in the adductor. So that would be something I would really want to hammer on. It actually looks to me like once he drops down, he might have a decent waist on him. That's another thing I noticed because this is all pretty much his body fat. It could be oblique.
So that's something that I carried too before I first dieted down as well. Yep. I kind of had I almost look at it like an hourglass type of ortho.
Same thing for me.
And then like you could definitely have a smaller waist.
It could cut in like this, honestly.
And exactly. And then that'll make his lats should flare out much more. Something that really stands out to me, arm.
Yeah,
you're gonna need to hammer those arms, and I'm not too sure what he's doing for them, but I would actually stand to put them at the beginning of a chest day. I think his chest could. His chest is definitely looks like a strong point.
Yeah, let's check out the side chest for that too to confirm. It could be, yeah.
Well, I mainly see that because the front pose.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the front relaxed, right there. I'm thinking that chest because once all the baby fat comes off, I think that chest is going to come in really nicely.
Yeah, lats are definitely a strong point, is what I'm seeing over all of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like this guy looks like someone who, yes, he holds a lot of body fat, but he also holds a lot of like muscle mass.
Yeah. So
like it gets me hopeful that if he actually gets in really good shape here, like that doesn't look like a super fat chest. Like it's a thick chest and it's shaped out nicely. Mm-hmm. But I also see the weak arms on the side pose there, like especially in the tricep.
Yes, because I think the biceps are not that bad. I think the biceps, honestly, are a strong point compared to the triceps. But hammer those triceps, it looks like if I had to guess, when he goes to bench press, it's all in the chest, which is great. But that's where we could typically see somebody adding in a tricep press or shoulder press being beneficial. Traps are good too, is what I'm saying.
Could use more shoulder in that too, but this is it's 25 weeks out, right? So this is hard to tell, because a lot of my poses like really come to life when I'm actually in condition. Yeah, let's look at the back.
Yeah. So
I think that's the strong point.
Yeah, he does have glutes. I can tell through there he's got glutes. So that's a good thing. I did not.
He actually holds less fat in his lower body too.
I think so. And honestly, the main thing that jumps out at me is being able to even see the quad sweep, like the full separation of the quad right here for the most part. Maybe a little bit of in there could be shown more, but this is pretty good leg separation for how far out he is in the body fat.
Yeah. So this would be a guy that you could probably push on the Stairmaster.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, so this is what leads me to think this as well, though. I think, and you guys can disagree or agree with me on this, I believe this gentleman might actually have to build these legs up quite substantially more if he holds his body fat in his upper body.
Yes. I see where you're
because
coming from.
My thought process on this is, once he diets down, he could be ready in his legs, but his upper body still has about 3-4 weeks to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you just hammer on the Stairmaster at that time period, you might lose the legs.
They might, but another approach that I would, not to cut you off, just another approach is we don't have to necessarily be married to something, right? Like we could start off on the stairs, and then maybe once you get there, you could maybe even potentially get off of them and transition to like a bike or something less impactful, like maybe even just steps to a degree. If he got if we're talking like his legs are diced, like glute lines all the way through everything, and it's just the upper body has to go. I can see it.
As you can see, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I finished.
I'm really sorry.
It's all good.
You can see his hamstring separation right there, and that's what I'm saying. It's like he really does hold a lot less in the lower body, and like you're saying too, you can see the glutes too, like they're boxed in.
Yep.
So, and by all means, do what your coach tells you to do if you're working with a coach.
And I hope that this is sort of the timeline, but I would almost do like a real hard start to the prep.
Yes.
And see if that hard approach on the Stairmaster, maybe add in like some Tren E or something off the start of prep. I would get things rolling immediately and see how it goes, and almost like break the 25 weeks into 2 phases and maybe have sort of like a hold in the middle. But obviously, like we're not trying to tell you how to prep or whatever, but I see this guy as like getting the fat off, but also he's going to have like a good amount of muscle mass for his first show, like a mile ahead of what I had.
What do you like as far as to put a number on it? Just because he put himself in heavyweight. What do you guys think we're looking at in terms of? And I can pull the pictures back up if you want me to.
What is he weighing now?
Right now he's 245 basically, pretty much. He's 244 point something. So
5'11", did you say?
6'1".
Okay, 6'1".
And he's not running a lot of gear at all. He's like under 500, 600 milligrams of gear too. That's something to take into consideration.
I'll be completely realistic. Don't focus on the weight class.
Yep.
But you are most definitely going to be a light heavy.
It's 197.
And I see. He might even be like 190.
Okay.
And the reason I say that, the taller frame, in order to get in, I'm talking about like stripped, you might end up like 185, 190. And for a first time show too, this is what I really want this guy to focus on is don't worry about how you look necessarily, just worry about getting all that fat off. 100%. Because this is not going to be your only show. You'll be doing other ones, and the problem is people always think they have a lot more muscle than they have.
Oh yeah.
And they get worried that they're going to come in looking small. It's like we all come in looking small for our first show.
Yeah.
Because we are small.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, it's your first show. No one, like maybe, I mean, look at, for example, guys like Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford, they were tiny their first show. like
Yep.
tiny, like probably like 150.
They had that grit though.
Yeah. So the main thing that you can control, really the only thing that you control, is your conditioning. So if you come diced out of your mind, that's going to be your best chance to win anyways. But realistically, if it's your first show, you shouldn't be concerned about winning. You should be concerned about basically setting yourself up for the best possible rebound, because that is what's really going to carry you into the future there. And if you get inside out peeled, as diced as you can get, that's going to set you up for a good rebound. Now, let's say let's say you get down to 190. That's a 55-pound cut. That's hard. 25 weeks. Mm-hmm. Somebody can do the math on that, how much weight you would need to lose per week for 25 weeks. But another thing that you got to consider too is you're not actually 25 weeks out. You're like 23 or 24, because you have to take that last 1 to 2 weeks to basically not be in a deficit for the most part. Relax, take a foot off the pedal on the gas when it comes to cardio, maybe bring food up a little bit. So you don't have quite as much time as you think you do, but you still have plenty of time to get it done. I like that he did more than 20 weeks. If he came with us and said this was going to be a 16-week prep, I'd be like, bro, you might not make it.
I almost have a slightly different stance on this one.
Okay.
I almost would argue that he might end up in the heavyweights
potentially,
but almost be okay that he doesn't come in peeled, and just sort of see where it goes. And like, I don't know, like it's hard to know what the timeline, how it's going to go, but say he got down to 200 and it was one of those where he if he pushed it a little bit harder, he could potentially burn off the muscle mass that he does have just on that chase for the last couple percentage of conditioning. Ultimately, yeah, it's about getting into that lean condition for the rebound, but I might think this guy might have a better chance not getting as peeled as possible and trying to hold on to some of that muscle, and treating this first show as less of a life or death sort of moment and more about having fun, man. Do your best.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like how you look. Try to keep your training relatively strong all the way to the show. And I will stress what Bobby said there too, but like, don't worry so much about the weight. Worry about like, where do you and your coach both see you looking the best, and like, where do the wheels fall off in the prep? And give yourself those last 2 weeks so that you get to have the full experience of like a carb up and, deload at the end, and, not hate bodybuilding because when I did my first show, I basically like ran my entire life into the ground, really just to like end up there realizing that it was about having fun. Whereas I could have like not lost the last 5 pounds and I would have been able to like maintain all my life outside of it, because I wasn't cut out to be a full-on dedicated bodybuilder at that age anyway, but I tried, and it almost kind of like cost me.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that to a point. It just depends. What is the level of suffering required to get that extra 10 off? If he's gonna have to do that, like you're saying, yeah, like basically, there are going to be points in prep where you say, why the fuck am I doing this? But in the moment, even when we're saying that, we still know why we're doing this, really. But if you get to a point to where, let's say you're 202 or something, right? And you're pretty close. Everything's pretty much there. And hopefully you have a coach guiding you, because really, I think that I could see how somebody could have fun doing their first show themselves with no coach. But me personally, I'd stress myself to death if I did that. So ideally, I would want the person to have a coach just to not have to worry about all the little details. And also, we think that there are a lot more fine-tuning details going into a peak week than we actually do when we're first starting out. So that's another thing, too. He might potentially overdo it himself if he's coaching. But I'm really big about the rebounds. So if we're looking at it objectively, like what's the best thing to set you up for the future, I wouldn't care about the muscle mass being lost personally, because it's just going to come back on the rebound. That is another thing too that you need to understand. Like any muscle mass you're dying off, muscle memory is a real thing. It's going to come back immediately. So if your goal is bringing your best look, 100% agree with what Max is saying. If your goal is getting better quicker and you kind of are just doing the show to do the show, like let's say he wanted to get diced anyways, he's just doing a show to mark his progress, then just get peeled. So, but there's no wrong approach as long as you're giving it your all and have fun. That is a big deal.
What about if he did if he did the show and he took my approach and he wasn't happy with the condition, and he did another one 2 weeks later, 5 pounds lighter.
I was actually about to suggest something like that too.
Yeah,
Or,
that work.
I mean, you don't even necessarily have to do a second show if you wanted to. If you just want to do the show, like you have the dead set, you want to do the show maybe for, because some people play this around, life things, like maybe there's a wedding coming up, and I want to do the show so it doesn't, so the timelines don't cross over, or I have a birthday coming up, whatever. Something he could do is do that show. Not if you're not necessarily happy with the conditioning, you don't necessarily have to compete again, but you could do, I want to say, a couple day holding phase.
Yeah.
Or even bring that food up a little bit and pull back down, and you'll be pulling down from a higher set point.
Yeah. Let's say one thing first though, because we have to assume that probably the first, like the night of the show and the day after, we have to assume that's probably going to be a free for all, considering it's his first show. Diet wise, because most people are not going to be hardcore like we are.
So let's actually, I think we should get into that.
Okay.
Tips for first time competitors.
Yeah.
On what to do post show. This is what I recommend for all my clients. This is what I've done in the past as well. Saturday night, get in water.
Yes.
I want you to hydrate. That's the first thing you should be doing, is hydrate and get your electrolytes in. And I would say try to pick foods that aren't going to absolutely ruin your gut. Try to stay away from if you want to go get sushi, yeah, that's great. That's a great one. I wouldn't necessarily recommend pizza until maybe like the next day.
Yeah. I wouldn't, period, personally. But if they have to, they have to.
I mean, I think a lot of it depends. Like if you're gonna get pizza, don't get a super greasy one. If you get a greasy one, get a napkin. Yeah. Get all that off. Don't go to the store and pick out a bunch of stuff that you want to have post prep. Like that should never be the focus. I think the best thing to do if you have a significant other or if you have friends, just go have a nice meal out with them the night of, and just focus on that time. Don't focus on stuffing your face and going crazy, because the food is going to be there later on.
Yeah.
Try not to be so food focused, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I want to give a little bit of a warning first. People think, in 2 days I can't ruin my physique. Yes, the fuck you can. People have gained 40 pounds. I've heard Andrew Barry talking about gaining 40 pounds in a couple days.
Mm-hmm. I think you could do it in a day.
Oh yeah,
easily. Especially if you
I gained 15.
Take diuretics.
Oh, okay. Yes, diuretics definitely.
So basically, Saturday, have a nice meal.
Yeah.
Try to go to bed at a good time and just get really good sleep.
Yeah.
Sunday, have about 3 meals, and they don't have to be tracked. Just make sure you're getting in the water previously that you're getting before. So I recommend, if you're having a gallon and a half, go back to that gallon and a half. Make sure you're getting in all your nutrients. Make sure you're getting in plenty of fruits and veggies with those meals too. And then Monday, back on plan.
I agree. I can kind of just quickly, because I kind of stumbled into doing it correctly my first show just by accident. I was so fucking depleted that I ate my face off Saturday night. I went to a sushi buffet. I ate until my stomach hurt, literally, and I woke up a pound lighter the next morning. It was fucking perplexing. That's how depleted I was, though. But and then on Sunday, I say I ate a bunch. I mean, realistically, for me, eating till my stomach hurt back then probably wasn't that much, because I had been on such little food for so long. But Sunday, I had breakfast. It was pretty reasonable. It was hotel breakfast. It was like pancakes. I had some oatmeal and a protein shake. Lunch, we went to like a Logan Steakhouse, I think, something like that. And I had a steak, 2 potatoes, and some rice. And then dinner, I think we did like Japanese or Thai, something like that. Like, it wasn't crazy. Yeah, because we have a Thai place around here. I want to say it was probably Thai. Yeah, maybe it was a burger and fries, but I really don't think. That was probably the week after. And then, like you said, Monday, back on plan. My second show, I did literally the exact same thing because we had a all-you-could-eat sushi bar right beside the hotel that we were staying at. So that's what I did. And then same kind of thing, like because I've driven to all these shows. They're like 3-4 hours away. So on the way home, we stopped by somewhere for breakfast. We stopped by Waffle House. I got a steak and waffles. Then we went somewhere for lunch. I got I think it was Chipotle, honestly. And then for dinner, we ate a steakhouse. So I find like those kind of wholesome cheat meals can be really nice on the day after a show because most people are traveling. They're going to see some restaurants as they pass on the way to get to their house. So 2 for 1, and the family always enjoys that too. So,
oh yeah, absolutely, and that gives you a little bit of a break from like being so regimented. Like
having to cook.
Look at that next day as like this is my day where I don't have to be a bodybuilder.
Relaxing, reducing stress.
Exactly, that's the main thing. But I will caveat with this: try to keep your steps really high the next day. I pushed my steps to 20,000.
Nice. Actually, you know what? I think I was about 20,000 the day after my second show. I woke up that morning.
And so much better.
Yeah, I woke up that morning. They had a little shitty hotel gym. I did some abs. I did just a little bit of stretching. I did some fasted cardio on the elliptical. I felt phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to feel bad like the day after show because even if you don't go crazy, I have a pretty sensitive stomach. It doesn't take much for my stomach to feel bad personally. So flush a little bit of water, get back up and moving. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we covered a lot there post show, which is good.
Yeah.
But overall, for this gentleman, so you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna sort of wrap up my thoughts on this guy.
Yeah.
You look awesome, man. A lot of muscle mass there, a lot of body fat to come off. Just try to enjoy your first show experience. And just try to live like a bodybuilder and do your best. And as far as muscles spring up, I think we all kind of landed on arms seem to be the biggest standout weak point. Maybe shoulders.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, and talk to any of us if you need any sort of anyone to lean on during your prep process, because Lord knows how much you need that on your first prep experience.
Yeah, and if he is coaching himself, God bless him. You're a warrior. I couldn't do it. I think overall, like looking at him, legs and back are going to be a strong point, and for a first show, those are pretty good weapons to have. Chest actually could even be a strong point too, like Bobby was saying. If you've got chest, back, and legs, and his calves are fucking killer, by the way, I forgot to mention that. If you've got chest, quads, calves help too, and back, I mean, you could be in a good spot to do well in your class. So, like Bobby said, wouldn't worry about the weight so much. Just worry about bringing your best and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That covers it.
All right. Well, Brad, you joined just in time.
How many critiques did you get off? 2?
Just one so far.
You got one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But that brings perfect, because the next one that I'm wanting to do here is a client of yours, actually. This is Big J. I'm going to pull up his stats on my phone here, but I'm sure Brad knows all these by heart pretty much, right? So age is 22, super young, crazy developed for 22, honestly. And I'll kind of actually, I'll cycle through these real quick just so people can get an idea. Very, very good spot for somebody who's 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he has so much potential, just an amazing frame.
Oh, yeah.
And you know this guy in person?
Yeah, so we've known each other online for like years now, but he's about an hour and a bit away from me, and he actually came to kick it with me when I was the show in Hamilton I did. He came to stay at the Airbnb with me, and we just hung out, and that was the first time we met.
Nice.
Really good guy, though.
So I'm assuming that he would not mind me mentioning the cycle and stuff, right?
No.
Okay, so,
I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but like, just knowing him, probably not.
He put it there.
He's a cool dude. He's open.
Current cycle, very, very well written cycle. I can definitely tell that Brad has a hand in this. 700 Testi, 420 EQ, 350 mast, 6 IU GH in the afternoon, and then 2 IU in the morning, which I'm actually kind of a fan of that setup, honestly. Retta, 2.5 weekly, 2 milligrams of MOTS C per day, and then GHKU copper at night. 60 micrograms of clean, 3 mgs of 8X weekly. So he's a little bit of a converter, it seems.
Yeah. So just for some context, we're in a dieting phase right now, setting up for a ensuing push. So just for
Oh,
some
okay.
context in the cycle there.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's wow. Honestly, if you just told me he was pushing up from here, I think this is even good shape to do that. So you get him
Yeah.
peeled out a little bit more, and then push. He's going to grow like a weed.
Yeah. So I'm in the
Yeah.
camp of the leaner you could get, the better the rebound's going to be.
I
And
agree.
we're not pushing for fat loss for a show. So the look isn't necessarily a big concern. So like I'm just kind of pushing him as far as we can go. Like it might not be that pretty, but he's not going to atrophy, right? Like he's
Yeah,
on a ton of gear, he's training. As long as the training performance doesn't slip too much, you're not going to atrophy. It might not be pretty, it might be flat, but when a few weeks into that rebound, like you're just going to blow back up.
yeah,
So that's kind of my approach to what we're doing with him.
yeah. So
Mhm.
the main things that jump out here at me is, I mean, honestly, just balance. Like this is a very, very well balanced physique. Quads are great. Waist is small. Arms are good, even in the front relax, which is something that a lot of people struggle with. Shoulders, especially as well. Nice cap in the front relax is always nice to see. Thinking on chest, side chest. Yeah, chest is good too. Sometimes it's a bit hard to tell in the front relaxed. Chest is great. Like overall, what do you think the main thing that you guys are? Well, you not think What are the main things that you guys are going to be working on in this push?
Definitely the quads are going to be a big focus.
Mhm.
It I think for him, like we just started working together earlier this year, so I'm not 100% sure what his training was like prior, but so I don't think it was like a matter of like not doing enough volume or putting enough effort into it. It's just the same issues a lot of guys have. It's the execution and really getting that dialed in. So we've been working on that throughout the push, and he's very receptive to feedback.
Nice.
So within like a week, like I'll give him a cue or say, like say for instance on the leg press, you could push for more depth. He'll send me a video the next week and
Yeah,
it's corrected. So without a doubt, like once we get the food pushed back up and he's growing, the quads will come up big time.
dude. I'm looking at his front double. These arms are fucking nasty.
So he's like the one person I know where like I would say you don't need an arm day. Like he doesn't have an
Yes.
arm day. Like he's the only guy that just throw some biceps, some triceps on the back
Yeah.
end of your push and pull days, and you're going to be just fine.
Like
Yep.
his lats are not bad at all, but just the arms are so strong that would be
Yep.
like an illusion there, where I would actually put for lats. Like this is a guy you could throw in a push pull leg split, and there's no problems at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, sorry, I might not be 100% accurate, but I think it's something like it's some variation of push pull legs, but I know it
Yeah.
has very little arm volume on it, and he actually just on one of his leg days has like a couple sets of triceps on there.
Okay.
I think he might have like a back and shoulder day. I can't really remember off the top of my head,
Mm.
but
Yep. This guy's an absolute freak, man. I love this physique.
mhm.
Standout body parts, obviously the arms. I'd say is a rare situation where the hamstring and glutes are actually more impressive than the quads.
Yeah.
When I look at the back poses, the lower body looks great. Um, I see him needing more upper back. Um, and I would say, yeah, I hate to be biased here, but definitely needs some calves.
Don't we all?
And the chest from the side poses is awesome, but because he's so wide up top, I have this problem too. The chest just does not have too much depth to it in like the lat spread and the front double.
Yeah.
But like this guy's potential is fucking outrageous.
I almost wonder if that's a posing thing, or is it? It could be that issue you're
I
talking
think
about.
that's a lighting thing.
Yeah,
And
because
that's
it's
the,
washing
that's the
out.
I
first
think
thing
that's
that
more of
comes
a
to
lighting.
Yeah.
yeah. There's the lighting's definitely not helping him,
Like
but I see what you
he's
mean.
got a
Mike.
chest on him. He's
Yeah.
got a chest on him for sure. Because I also thought of eight shots.
Yeah.
I think that's mainly a lighting issue, and I'm sure even the leaner he gets, the more
Oh yeah.
pronounced he gets. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Bandit.
Yeah, no, for sure. The photos don't do him justice. Like you said, the lighting
Yeah.
definitely washes them out. But I mean, Max isn't entirely wrong though. But yeah, the lighting's not doing him any favors.
And one thing too
And
that I see. or sorry, just to finish this one point. One thing I see is the quads themselves, I think, are actually in a decent spot. It's really just adductors, honestly. I could be wrong, though.
I mean, the sweep is pretty narrow. I think as a whole, like he does have really long femurs, though.
Okay.
You can't even really tell. Really tell from the. Can't really even tell from the photos, but like I've seen him training, and you could tell like his long femurs.
He is 5'11". I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't look 5'11", just like his proportions.
Proportions are great.
But you were gonna say, Bobby, sorry to cut you off. And the topic of his chest and the lighting, things like that.
Well, okay, so the thing I would agree with on Max too, and this is more just a thing that he's going to get the more developed he gets.
Yeah,
is once he gets more upper back thickness, and because he can go to the back double. Yeah, so if you just and I mean, I don't want to step on any toes or anything, but I'm sure. Brad, I'm sure you're already hammering him on like, hey, we just need to build this upper back because once it kind of like turtle sells out, it's just going to look fucking nutty.
Yep, because he's got nice insertions.
Mm-hmm.
You can even see it there.
Too. It's those spinal rectors are going to fucking come in like just like meat curtains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were going to say, Max? I feel like you were going to say something there.
Yeah, no, I just didn't want to interrupt Bobby, but I was looking at the lat spread too, and the upper back rear delt area.
Yeah.
I heard this tip from I don't know if you guys know who Stephen Cow is. He's a men's physique Asian guy. Anyway, he did like this. He gave this piece of advice for guys that have sort of high lat insertions, and I kind of resonated with it because my lats are kind of high. And he described the back as almost like a triangle, like a pyramid. And if you build up your upper back, like your rear delts and your upper back, it sort of makes the lats appear like they flare out more. Because when I'm looking at this back lat spread, if he were to build up that upper back and rear delt, it would just tie the whole back together better.
Yeah.
But like we're nitpicking here, man.
Of course,
those rear delts are pretty. Those rear delts are pretty dominant, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, if he's gonna hit the upper back. If you hit the upper back, you're going to hit the rear delts too.
For sure. But you go to the back double.
Yeah, and one thing I just want to mention real quick, I feel like he has more rear delt meat here than he's showing here. They could maybe be a little opposing, maybe bring that elbow a bit closer to the body because those are very developed rear delts. And
those are very.
Yeah, you said what pose to go to? The front double.
The back double.
Back double. Okay.
How would you guys suggest hitting the traps without hitting the rear delts? Is that even possible?
Shrugs? I mean, do you hit your rear delts
regular shrugs?
Kelso shrugs.
Yeah, I guess Kelsos.
Kelso shrugs are good.
Yeah.
Traps have always been such like a... I've never isolated traps in my life, personally.
Like, I feel like... I don't know. Yeah, I'm personally not in the camp of isolating traps. I just think any heavy chest supported row targeting the upper back, if you really get a full stretch, like obviously your rear delts are going to engage, but just having that big stretch on the traps, like they're going to grow. I always tell people like try to stretch it as far as like you're driving. Try to stretch it so far that you're driving your traps into your ears, basically, and they're going to grow without a doubt.
Absolutely.
And any pulling from the floor, as well is going to build those. Or if you're bent over doing bent over barbell rows or anything of that nature, those are going to grow like crazy as well.
Yeah, 100%.
This guy's terrific.
I see a lot of potential.
Yes,
very, very.
Dude, 2022,
man. Yeah, being so young, like, and I know he has so much to learn. Not no like shot at him, but like there's another level and then another level after that in terms of where he can take his training. So the fact that he's got this far without like really being like he's a busy guy. He's a student. He works and he's already made it this far. So that's pretty exciting knowing that just give him more time, gain more experience in training, and like he's really gonna blow up.
Yeah,
I'd love to see this guy at 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, earlier than that, after this rebound, like he's probably going to be a whole new bodybuilder. Like
Yeah.
if
Well, the reason I say 25 is I see a pro card at 25.
Potentially.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
that's what I'm. If not sooner than that.
So do you have
So
how you said about a year? What is his typical rate of gain for an off season? I know it differs off season to off season, but do you
well, I haven't worked with him in an offseason, so I know he really I don't remember like what he's like. It's
yeah.
his bulk and cut cycles and all that, but I know he competed sometime last year, and he didn't take the post show seriously. I think he went on
Okay.
vacation or something. Really missed that window of opportunity, and then life stuff, and he was kind of like, let's say, he fell off the wagon, and he's just been really locking it back in at the start of this year. So, yeah, I can't really answer that. This is going to be
Okay.
my first crack at pushing him for growth. So.
Nice. I asked because it's just fun to do the bodybuilding math. If they're like, okay, he's 5'11", so he probably needs to weigh X, Y, and Z to be competitive at a national level. Of course, he's got
no!
yeah.
Stop that! Stop
No, it's just fun. It's just fun to think about. It's just fun to think about
Yeah.
because then that can give you a timeline for okay. I'm thinking this is about because you can probably just look at a person and be like, okay, I see this much amount of mass in me. That's about this much amount of time, and you get 25 from that number. The way I think about it is, okay, they're this weight. I know we can gain about this much per off season because not everybody's gonna gain 20 pounds of muscle in the off season. And see that target goal for where they could be, and I really do think, 2-3 years. I know it's a bit harder to turn pro in Canada, but this is a pretty exceptional physique. I think he could do it.
We'll take him to North Americans. That should
Okay.
be it.
Yeah, that's amateur Olympia.
Yeah.
Take
Arnold.
him to Mexico.
That wouldn't even be fair.
Take him to Japan.
So what are the main reasons why I hate the weight thing? And I think it's so arbitrary. Mainly because my weight fucking is always super low. But I feel like people get way too lost in chasing that scale, and they're like, okay, so if I hit this in this off season, I'm for sure going to be this. And it's like that generally never plays out that way.
No, it's like within a percentage, of course.
Well, and I just say if this dude just keeps honestly, if he just keeps that great shape,
Yeah.
keep that tiny waist, and just grow and be like a bigger, more developed version, that's going to be stupid crazy at nationals.
So from a coaching perspective, Brad, is he doing any like pulls from the floor? Are you trying to minimize kind of impact to the waist? Or is it not a concern?
Really, there's not a whole lot of like what I like to call man shit in his training at the moment. Mostly because he's dieting and food is pretty low at this point. So it just doesn't really make sense to bury him in training. But I think there would be some merit in when he is well fed, really in the depths of an off season. I think he could really benefit from some of that stuff, pulling from the floor, even like rows from the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some bent over rows, man, would completely just transform that back.
Mm-hmm.
It would take what's already there and just accentuate it more. And I honestly, people say that heavy bent rows from the floor are going to primarily they're going to build your traps, your upper back, right? But I always got pretty good lat development out of them personally, doing them with an underhand grip.
Yeah, I would say personally, like I would feel them in my lats, but I don't know how
That's
much
fair.
my lats actually grew.
That's
from
what
them,
I mean. Yeah, I would always feel in my lats more so.
Yeah.
But I think we covered everything with him.
I'm kind of wondering though, real quick. So a lot of people say, pulling from the floor might increase someone's waist. I don't know if I actually subscribe to that. I think it's more people train on a very full stomach.
Hmm.
They're not letting their food digest, having bad digestion. I think that's really what grows the waist out more.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see the argument with the obliques growing.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're bracing properly, I don't think there's any issue. I don't even pull from the floor with a belt on.
Yeah.
So
I'm not in the camp that thinks that if you have a tight waist, if you start pulling from the floor, you're going to ruin that. I just have never seen it. I think maybe maybe guys that have a naturally bigger waist, it might be something to consider because you
Yes.
can't really afford to potentially make it any bigger. But yeah,
And then,
I think the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to, pulling off the floor.
Generally speaking, yeah, it's
Yeah.
something I don't think my back would be one of my stronger body parts right now if I didn't have years of pulling off the floor and pulling heavy specifically. I don't know, it's just something about it, man. Like, I really, really like high reps for legs, but there's just something different about doing a good set of 6 on bent rows, man. Just seeing the pearly gates and just about ready to fucking collapse.
Mhm.
Man, those are like the formative years, and he's kind of in those formative years. So maybe squeeze a little bit more towards the back end of that offseason, like you're saying, when he's safe and able to do it. Could be some benefit there, honestly.
For sure.
But all right, I think
Shout
we
out,
covered.
shout out Big J.
Yeah, shout out Big J. He's active in the Discord server too. Super chill guy.
Yeah.
Funny as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Very
right.
good.
So I think moving on into the second half of the show here, we can just kind of generally go over the Arnold and what we all thought. That ought to take up plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good at that.
All right. So anybody want to start off like just generally like how like what did you see the outcome as? Were you expecting it? Were you shocked? Like what are our thoughts on the outcome for Men's Open, of course?
So I'm honestly not shocked, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the trend with these bigger shows is that it's always going to be so in these bigger shows like the Arnold and the Olympia, they at least the top 3 guys are going to be similar in terms of muscularity. So no one's ever going to win the show based on muscularity. Like whereas in a smaller show, one guy could be, miles ahead of everyone else in terms of muscularity, and he wins just on that. But that's not the case in a big show. So then it comes down to structure, shape, and conditioning. And it seems like the trend in these bigger shows is that world-class shape and structure is going to beat world-class conditioning every time. That's what I'm seeing.
That's what
Assuming the shape guy isn't way off, obviously.
Yeah.
If he has acceptable conditioning and doesn't stand out like a sore thumb,
Yeah.
that's gonna be rewarded every time over incredible conditioning.
That's what we're seeing. It's just unfortunate. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like I'm big on conditioning. I think a part of that's just because I've never really been like diced like that. So it's something that I strive for and I want. And also everybody can agree, like relate to this. That conditioning is one of the few things you can control. You're born with your shape to a degree. You can mold it and you can amplify it, but it's kind of just you pick the right parents. Nobody really wants that to be the main driving factor of who wins the show, but unfortunately, that's the direction they're going with. They made that clearly evident by the choice they made yesterday. I really think looking at it now, obviously everybody has an emotional response to it at first, but looking at it objectively now, it's not a straight up robbery from Nick. I can understand why they gave it to Andrew, but they did give it to Andrew. That's the difference. It was within a plus or minus margin to where they can have the look that they want to be there, succeed, and people will probably forget about this in a couple weeks. That's how I see it. I think Nick, if we're talking about who's the best bodybuilder on that stage, Nick deserved to win.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. You said the conditioning is the one thing you can't control. I believe that's completely true. However, skin texture and thickening is something I don't think you can control. And that's, I think, something we're seeing a lot with, I think, Nigerian people. They have a thicker skin. But then, also, again, I also think you see that a lot with people who use a lot of GH. Is that skin really thickens a lot. And they don't necessarily get that grainy, like, very, very, like, fish skin, I want to say. To where you can, like, see through everything. And I believe Nick is a very low dose guy at this point.
Oh, at this point, for sure.
From people who are very close to him, I've seen what his cycle is. It's man, it's like a fucking little drop
Like,
in the pond.
he's probably doing 0 GH, if I had to imagine. Maybe a little for
I think
fat
he
burn.
said some. I think he
I
said
think it was
something about that
Maybe
a
like
couple
2,
months ago.
4.
The total anabolic load last year from a very trusted source was less than a gram from Pittsburgh to um, the Olympia. So it's very, very low dose. Then again, he doesn't really need that size
Exactly.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
But
kind of leaves you in a good position when it does come time to compete. You know, then when you're peaking, you can kind of throw the whole kitchen sink at it, right?
Yeah.
But like between shows, he doesn't really need to be running crazy amounts of shit because, like you said, he doesn't really need any more muscle.
Yeah. And another key
Definitely
too.
doesn't need any more muscle.
Another key is between shows. These guys are competing multiple times a year. They're not running 5 grams. They'd be dead. They're not doing that much. Like unless they just have livers of steel. I think it's pretty unrealistic to expect. Like, and especially when it comes to orals and stuff, right? Like, for example, we had the Arnold. I think next week is Detroit. Then I think the following week is the Arnold UK, right? There are guys.
I'm not sure what the schedule is.
I'm fairly
there's
sure.
a plethora of shows.
Correct.
Yeah, there's a plethora of shows.
shows.
Basically, these guys are not doing. And there are some people who are going to do every single one of those shows. They're not staying on orals for 6. Well, maybe longer than that. They're not staying on orals for 10 weeks. That'd be absurd.
Some people do.
Yeah, I was going to say some probably do, but
They burn out.
Hold on. My second and third cycle, I was on orals for like 16 weeks.
Well, okay, so yeah, I think we all actually. I think most people have experience of doing some dumb stuff like that in the beginning, but once you've got some years under you, got some mileage under you, especially when it comes to anabolics and things, I don't think we can get away with that anymore. So,
yeah, keep in mind contest prep orals are like 100 milligrams of this, 100 milligrams of that. At least 100 milligrams of this or that, So that's a little bit of a different scenario, but yeah, it's like if there's 3-4 weeks in between a show, you can come off the orals for a couple weeks and then throw them back in 2 weeks out or whatever, right?
Exactly. So what do you guys? Unless anybody have anything else to cover there, kind of on like the outcome, anything?
I think. Go ahead, Max.
I give my take with after the dust has settled here.
Okay.
I'm a huge Nick Walker fan, so it was pretty devastating to see him not win that. And kind of like Brad said about the direction that they're going for the structure. I get it. I just think there was like a small line there where we weren't in person, so it's so hard to say, but I just felt like Andrew needed to be better from my eyes for them to give it to him in this situation because Nick was so on.
Yeah.
Just like how when Derek beat him in Pittsburgh, I felt like that was a similar thing where Nick was so on again that I didn't feel like the shape and structure outweighed it. But they're the judges, and they kind of have the shape and structure as a priority. And it was the whole Nick letting his waist hang out thing. Yeah. He was very good about controlling it, but there was a couple moments there.
Yeah,
and they're kind of just drawing that line in the sand.
He's human though, man. I've seen people really harp on him about that, but he did a much better job.
He did a very good job.
So, much better job.
So I'll argue this too, and I'm more of a more recent Nick Walker fan, just after seeing his personality. Like I loved how he took his mom shopping.
Yeah.
When she met her weight loss goal, I was like, oh, that's the wholesome kid I love to see on Instagram. But more like really liking the personality, and then having this underdog mentality going into this show. I think he really showed up and showed out, and I think he should continue prepping himself from here on out.
Yeah.
Because he seems like I think he nailed it better than any other show any coach has done with him.
Yes.
But now this is what I don't understand is they draw the line with Nick, taking a couple breaths. Everyone's human. But where do they draw the line with Andrew not taking his conditioning or his posing very seriously? Like, when do they say enough is enough? I know they did it at the Olympia. For sure. They said, hey, you're posing.
I thought
how come they didn't do it with Arnold?
I thought he looked much better at the Olympia, by the way, than he did at this Arnold.
Yeah, he did. And I think he went into this expecting like this is just mine. I'm coming here to take it.
Yeah.
I kind of love that.
It kind of reflects. It kind of reflects in the way that you present yourself on stage. I would say Nick did his best. The other competitors did their best. I think Mo Fuda got looked over for sure. I'm a huge fan of that dude's physique.
Yeah.
I think Brandon.
Brandon got overlooked, honestly.
Yeah, I want to say because we all know who was fourth, so I think Brandon definitely got pushed to the side for no apparent reason. That's a Xmas row.
Yeah,
So
I almost wonder if they're kind of trying to signal Brandon like he's on the way out, but he's not. That's
like why would he?
Yeah.
Like he's
improving.
Not like drastically, but he's definitely not getting any worse.
To be improving at all at his age is astounding.
I think his legs are starting to come up a little bit more. But yeah, he's been competing for a long, long time. I remember seeing him on, was it Generation Iron 2?
I think so.
Something like that.
It might have even been 1. I don't remember.
I think it was 2. It was either 2 or 3.
That was
wild.
Yeah.
2008?
Yeah, pretty sure that's when he turned pro.
Oh, I think he competed a long time.
It was early. It was right kind of after, I guess in the middle more so of Jay's career. Like that, or not career, reign, rather.
Yeah, ever since he teamed up with Justin, got out of oxygen, seems like he's been improving a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's a whole other topic. The oxygen camel crew, or whatever they're called.
The camel crew. The camel crew. Throw enough volume and enough drugs at people, and we'll see if they grow.
You guys remember when Regan Grimes escaped the camel crew?
God, yeah.
He went home for Christmas and never came back.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
I find that hilarious.
So, short little thing on Regan. I think, and I love Regan's physique. I think he is one of the best businessmen in bodybuilding. And I would say, you know what? If you don't care to compete, fuck it, man. You've built a legacy for yourself and your family forever. I would say he did things pretty well. And I know people give him shit all the time.
He's got a damn desirable physique too. Like, I mean, if you're talking about like people who are competing right now that most people would absolutely kill to look like, he's top 3.
Yeah,
he's handsome.
I'd love to look like that.
Full head of hair at like 300 pounds. What the fuck?
You ever?
I'll get there too, boys. Don't worry.
You ever see him at your gym, Brad?
No, I've never seen him in person. No.
I saw him about 10 years ago because I went to college in London, Ontario at Fanshawe, and he owned Flexplex back then, and he was like, this would have been 10 years ago, so he would have been like 23, something like that.
Wow.
And I saw him free weight military pressing 225 for like 20 plus reps, just like, it was good times, man. And like, I was too oblivious to know what was going on there. I mean, I knew they were taking gear, but just like whole different ball game.
Yeah.
He's a great bodybuilder, but yeah, he could walk away anytime and be just as successful.
Yeah. The only thing that kills me with him is people are like, oh, he's this up and coming kid. It's like, bro, he's 33 years old or something.
Not anymore.
He's a grown man. He's not a kid.
He still looks like a kid though. That's
he
why.
Looks young. I understand it. He looks very young. But kind of moving back into the conversation of the Arnold here. Let's just kind of go. No, it's perfect. Let's go place by place here. So I think we all kind of already gave what we thought about Andrew.
Did you guys have Hottie in second this whole time?
So let's.
I had it Nick and Hottie.
I will say this: prejudging, I could have had Hottie 4th. Honestly,
yeah.
The night show, I thought they were going to give it to Hottie for a second there. Not that he deserved it, but I thought they were going to give it to him. I thought because the argument of, oh, he's a Mr. Olympia, he improved drastically from Friday to Saturday or whatever the 2-day show thing. That has been something that's happened in the past. I thought maybe they were going to give it to him because in my mind, Andrew was not even the conversation to win this. Like I had him at a strong 3rd or 4th. And then once I saw Martin was watery and a mess, I was like, yeah, he's fourth all day. So it was really just between Nick and Hottie for the win, as far as I saw it. So when they called Hottie in third, I was shocked because I thought it was going to be.
Did you guys see that Nick got the most muscular award, and he actually was like disappointed getting it because he's like,
well, here's the thing.
It's almost never the winner.
But the time that he won the Arnold, he won both.
Yes.
So,
really?
Yeah, I believe so. Now, that was something I heard on Fuad's podcast. That could be complete bullshit, but I feel like I remember that happening as well.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was that the time where he lost, he got it, and it was almost like a consolation prize.
I'm not sure. I would have to delve back into it. I've heard both ways. Yeah.
It's like the best poser is never the winner.
Normally.
The most muscular award is never the winner.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, here's, like people's champ. It's never the winner. It's like, here's your, like,
to be fair, though,
sort of slap in the face trophy.
The time Hottie won the Olympia, or maybe it was one of Ramy's, I don't remember. I think they got the People's Champ and the Olympia, though. There was one time where that happened as well.
I think Hottie got it.
I think so, yeah.
Rami won, though.
I think it was that second year that Rami won, and everyone thought that Hottie should have won.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but regardless, I don't. Yeah, I thought maybe they were going to give it to Hottie. I didn't even see Andrew in the conversation personally, just because. Another thing that somebody had mentioned earlier, I think it was maybe Max, like you take into account someone's improving from show to show, and that goes towards you're giving them the nudge for the win there. And Andrew got worse. And you know what? It's weird. It's almost like he got better in some ways and worse in others. Did you guys notice that?
He was bigger. I think he was just bigger.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. His upper back, his general backside from the upper portion of his body, from glutes up, was better. But then low down, it was worse.
Still hard to tell with the lighting.
Yes, the lighting was fucking atrocious.
I could argue that Hottie, and I'm not trying to hate on Hottie, but I would say he regressed more than Andrew regressed. Like that is
for sure, absolutely.
That's like national level Hottie versus. well, the reason why from the backside, and I get it, stress. Hottie fucking ditched you. Man, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I'll say that straight up. I don't care. Like all that stress with what's going on in your country, and then your coach that you've trusted to handle your process dumps you lose your sponsorship. I mean, realistically, we'd all probably look like a watery mess on stage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
After something like that happening. I think anyone really would. But I think he regressed more than Andrew regressed. That's probably why they gave Andrew the front up over Hottie.
I think Hottie's prejudging look was so bad they couldn't give it to him. But, okay, here's the fucked up thing, though. Do you guys see the scorecards?
I wanted to say that, man. It makes no fucking sense.
It makes no goddamn sense. I can't wait to see Tyler pull this one out of his ass, because I don't understand. Like, dude, I do not understand.
Careful. We still want to become pros, right?
Oh,
bro.
I mean, if Tyler Mannion sees this, I've made it enough as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Okay.
What was it? What was the Beef Stew used to say? Beef Stew used to say, like, be careful.
Yeah, be careful. But
you never know. Someone could send just this part.
But realistically, I'm sure Tyler will be able to weave a web of why what was done. But anybody with two eyes can understand that, like, objective bodybuilding criteria, Nick should have won. This was a message saying we are making the league go this direction, whether you like it or not. And that's fine. They have the power to do that. It's just not what I prefer.
Good news for me.
Yeah, good news for a lot of people, honestly. Like for example, Big J, who we were just critiquing earlier, great for him. Great for him. And then here's the thing: if you have that amazing shape with the conditioning, double whammy. It's just a lot of people. The two don't. Have you guys noticed that the two tend to not go together very often?
I actually have a theory on this.
I think it's coasting.
It's because, I think the coasting. Explain.
Meaning that these are typically people that have really good genetics, and often they just coast on that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just about to say. Is so
as in like a
blessed.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, just as like you're like genetically blessed, where it's like, okay, well, my shape is so good, I just have to come in shape.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking winning everything.
Yeah.
What? So like almost like a work ethic thing.
Yes. You should.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily buy that because Samson obviously proved that wrong.
There's
There,
exceptions. I think Samson
some
does
some
work.
people some people it's just like someone like Samson or Andrew. No matter how hard they push it, they're never going to have that conditioning that Nick Walker brought. And even if they do, it's not going to be a favorable look.
Yeah, and to a degree, no one no one realistically who like knows what they're talking about is saying that Samson will ever get near to that level of conditioning. But there's a difference between that here, which is like stripped out, and then kind of where they've been at. I think it's just they're wanting to push him a bit forward, and his camp says, which I do believe Samson worked his ass off. I don't believe it's a work ethic thing per se, but I mean, you have the muscle there, you don't, right? You have the lines there, you don't. I feel like it could be a coaching thing. I'm still kind of in that camp of where I think Samson should probably be working with Milos or somebody who's like an actual coach, but that's a whole other topic. Because Andrew did have I believe that showing Andrew had at the Olympia was better condition than Samson has ever had, personally.
Actually, so I think Samson actually had really, really good conditioning when he did that. Was it guest posing a little bit before the Olympia?
Yes. What was that? 6 weeks out?
I can't
3
even
weeks
remember. I'm not the worst bodybuilder fan ever. I'm like, oh, I remember this highlight. But he looks amazing there. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that's the look.
Yeah.
Um,
Fuan said the same
so
thing.
I think it's really just a matter of really nailing it. As far as like the shape. So don't get me wrong. I think everyone at the Olympia worked hard,
Oh yeah.
but I'm thinking more like those shapely guys who just kind of coach. Those are the ones that are winning, like just getting their pro
Yeah.
card off wins. It's like second show, third
Yes.
show. Then they go to like a big pro show and get their ass fucking whooped.
Yeah.
But I think everyone at the Olympia is working pretty hard to some degree.
Yeah. I mean, we've heard stories of Andrew eating chocolate bars a couple of weeks out. Like,
So milk.
I mean,
yeah.
who was another one who was super famous for that? Was it
Probably like Lionel Becky or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, someone who came in shape.
Oh,
No,
Jose
there was,
Raymond.
Jose Raymond was a big one. He would do that.
That's the
Just a
type
couple
of
years.
yeah. That's like the guy. That's different. He has genetics for getting in shape. Like that guy could look like a slob a week
And
out.
he had common sense. He would work so fucking hard. He would like have a couple beers the night before and then just like fucking diet hard the next day and have a hot dog at a ball game.
Yeah.
2 weeks out.
But then he'd work it off. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I get it.
I think I know who you were thinking of. Nasser El Sabati used to do that shit too. He would go like post show, or not post show, but like, let's say he had an event to go to like 3 weeks before the Olympia or some shit. He'd eat a cheesecake, a full entree, just fucking go off the wall. And then you hear stories of him being in Gold's Venice in a sweatsuit, just doing 3, 4, 5 hours of fucking cardio.
Paul Dillette.
Yes, Paul Dillette too. Yep. But the thing is, it's like they know that they're fucking up, so they're out overworking to kind of get by.
These are just the ones that admit it.
Yeah.
Or their coach admits like Chad for flex.
Yeah.
He'd have to call his wife and be like, "Hey, what is he having?"
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You haven't answered my check-in, so I know he's cheating.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of, I guess, moving down the list here for the Arnold. We kind of covered Andrew, Nick, Hottie. How do we think about fourth place? How did Martin look overall? I picked him to win, so I was very disappointed with his just everything. Honestly, when he first walked out onto stage, I thought for a second. And first of all, live stream quality and the lighting, absolutely pathetic for this. They've the background horrible. We're about to see in a week here the Detroit Pro, and they're about to see how the fuck it's done right. This is going to be a black backdrop and great stream quality. I digress. With Martin, when he first walked out, I thought, okay, this is a decent look. Maybe we're kind of looking at winning here. I want to see him turned around, and then when he turned to the rear, I immediately saw that this was not like the Prague level Martin that we had saw not too long ago. And in a lineup was where this stuff really shined. because the lighting was so bad and the stream quality was bad. Everybody individually, obviously, other than Nick looked lights out, period. But everyone else, it was kind of hard to tell. Funny that he didn't win the show, but it's kind of hard to tell with everyone else until they really stood beside each other. And that's where I really noticed that Martin and also Hottie specifically on prejudging. That's where I noticed that they were kind of soft, maybe a little spilt. I don't know what you would call it. I would assume it was a spillage issue with Martin, considering he was leaking water all over the place.
I think Martin's more nerve. I think
That's what I was going to say.
I don't think it's spilling because he eats so fucking. I couldn't imagine him spilling without having a bloated gut.
Fair.
But I think it's more nerves and it's more. It could be a huge compound issue too. I've heard
500
rumors.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a guy who's already very emotionally unstable. I don't think someone who's in that type of mentality should be taking compounds that further increase whatever you got going on up there. So, I mean, you'll see people sweating pretty bad. I know Andrew sweat pretty bad before. I think it's like really like nerve.
Could be. But so if you're dried out properly, I thought if you're like really truly dried out, you really can't even sweat that much. Can you? I guess maybe if you're nervous.
I've never
I think you can.
I'm a sweaty ass person normally, but I've never even came close to sweating on stage.
Yeah, I sweat not prejudging, but I sweat in my second show just because I was a bit spilt between prejudging and the night show. I spilt a little bit on my lower body, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like that. It was like one drip of water, and honestly, that might have just been from my tan rubbing on something.
Well, I think Martin's also a very watery person too, is he not?
Yeah. I think so, because a lot of people will talk about his, like, he'll be walking or just standing there, and then once he flexes, the muscle comes to life. So I would assume that would mean there's a lot of water in the muscle, right?
So, yeah, but then you wouldn't necessarily, if there's glycogen there, I don't think you necessarily spill it out by sweating. I think it's just more, he probably just like holds a lot of water. Like, I don't think they cut water for him at all or reduce it at all. So, he does have an issue with sweating almost at every show.
Yeah, did he? I don't remember him. Which it was kind of hard to see.
Not a frog, I don't think. But the other ones.
It's not every show, but he definitely has in the past.
Well,
not every show though.
That's the thing. It kind of seems like every other show he has issues. He'll nail it dead nuts on for like a show or two, and then he'll have a bad performance. It's almost like maybe there's not enough time to rest in between shows. I don't know. It's odd. It's like it's almost reliably like the pattern is very noticeable at this point. It's like 1 to 2 shows, great, bad. 1 to 2 shows, bad. That's what we saw last year. I don't remember what the 2 were, but he had 1 or 2 good showings, and then he did the same show as Nick and Derek, and it was not good. Then he did the Olympia in Prague. It was great.
Nerves. Yeah. There we go.
Man, yeah, you know what? That is the trend.
Think about that. Think about that. Who else is the denominating factor at each of those shows? These fucking foreign sweat.
Breaking news: Nick Walker makes Martin Fitzwater sweat on stage. Okay.
Breaking, yeah.
I think that kind of covers everything with 4th place, unless anyone else has any input there. Okay. So moving on to the 5th, Curry. Again, I honestly could have seen him being 4th. I think this is one of the best looks we've seen from Brandon in a long time. And honestly, his past couple of looks have been really good. Something I noticed especially is when they turned him around, when they did that call-out after the 3-man call-out with Nick, Andrew, Hottie, the call-out with Martin, Brandon, Rafa, and I think Mo. I think that was the 4-man call-out. Yep. Brandon had some nasty detail in his glutes and hams that we don't normally see in him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brandon's great.
Especially pre-judging, good.
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe because he seems like he's a pretty big family man. I'm sure just being able to actually spend time with his family and prep maybe makes all the difference in why he's been looking like he's coming back to life. Yeah. Like it looks like a completely different Brandon. Like holy shit, you're making improvements.
Yeah.
Like you said he turned pro in 2008.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, who's making improvements that late in the game?
Almost 20 years.
I'm not too sure I can name really anyone else except maybe Dexter.
I also think that having Justin Harris be like incredibly locked in with him.
Yeah.
You know, like he's completely tracking all of the variables. He's making sure probably that he's programming his high carb days around leg day.
Oh,
He's, you know, he even said on a podcast that none of his preps have been the same with him. Like, I'm sure Brandon was following a similar blueprint every single time before. Whereas a good coach will say shit like this prep was entirely different, which shows that he's completely dedicated to him and on the ball. You know, we've heard things, you know, that potentially Justin has a lot of clients, but I bet you he's really given
It's only
Brandon.
going towards Brandon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just saying.
The only one who's getting Justin Harris's attention right now is Brandon.
For sure. Those 2 days, absolutely. And honestly, at a certain point, even as a client, you would have to kind of understand. Like, I mean, that is a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Any input there, Brad, on 5th place?
No, I think you guys covered it all. I agree. You know, he probably could have fought for that number 4 spot, but at the end of the day, you know, prejudging is typically more important than finals, right? So
Apparently.
Yeah. Martin came back better. Brandon came back worse.
Okay, I see where you go. Yeah.
Martin was bigger. They were comparable in shape.
Yeah.
You know, Martin had more leg size.
Yeah.
Brandon had more back detail.
I think Brandon had more detail in the lower body as well. Maybe not from the front, but from the back, definitely.
Compared to a typical Martin, I think would smoke him in that area, but Brandon was on and Martin was off. So I think it's hard for us to not give it to Brandon, but I do think Martin's a couple levels ahead of Brandon, and they made that clear.
Yeah, that's probably another thing. They probably did not want to signal to Martin there that he had fallen that far, because what did Curry place 8th at the Olympia? I think so. Maybe 7th.
I thought it was 7th.
Maybe it was 7th. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 7th. They don't want to signal to Martin, who placed 4th, that he dropped down that far. Especially with an older gentleman like Curry, I don't think they're willing to send that signal if it's close.
I wish they would.
Well,
I wish they would too. Yeah.
I mean, I would say that Martin would have been in that area.
Oh, absolutely. That Martin probably would have been 10th.
Like, I think they need to be really realistic and not try to save people's feelings.
I agree.
All right. That's.
Do we remember who's 6th place? I think it was Rafa, right?
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in Rafa, to be honest.
He showed up how I expected, basically.
He showed up how I expected to, but I always have that hopefulness. Like,
yeah,
he had that one 2024 Arnold that he was amazing there, but obviously he was up against 2 light years ahead of him bodybuilders. But that's one of my favorite looks of his, probably the best. He was not that.
Look. Yeah, he's kind of in that camp of Regan-like physiques where you just add a little bit of muscle in the right places, you add a little bit of conditioning in the right place. I think with Rafa, it might even be more of a conditioning thing than a mass thing. What do you think? It's a bit of both, though.
I think he also had a lot of gut issues going into this.
He had a whole extended podcast. Yeah, he took like a year off.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think Neil was saying that on Fuad's podcast that he was going in with some like they may have just corrected some gut issues before starting this prep, and that he was pretty behind. But I love Ruff's tape, but he just never brings it. I want to say that he just never brings that next level that we all know he most likely could.
Now,
I do think he needs more size though too.
Is that someone who we think it is like a genetic thing, or is to me it looks like a ethic thing? Like it just looks like there's a little bit like the body fat, you can see it. It's not like with someone like a Samson where you can't even really see the detail covered underneath. It's just like it's not there. With Brando, it just seems like he needs to lose a little more body fat.
I think he's surrounded by yes men. I think Brazil's pretty huge on that.
Unfortunately.
Go ahead.
I did like that Neil was very honest when he was asked about how Raph was looking, and if your coach is saying like you're not sure and that they're potentially behind, then I think that says a lot. And he said the same thing about Mike, and I respected that a lot because he could easily say every time that we're bringing their best, but he was very open about things are not responding, things are not clicking. And it showed. But I do think it's a body fat thing, but we can only speculate. We can't just say these guys aren't working hard enough or dieting hard enough, because there's so many factors. Like, some people's bodies are just too run down to have the same response that you do from like the dietary changes or the fat burners or the cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
His organs might just not be in a healthy enough place to have that response that we're hoping for.
I'm trying to find the scorecard. Sorry if somebody sees me on my phone. It's just I'm trying to find the scorecards real quick. You guys continue.
If you're dealing with like gut issues going into a show, I think that's the worst possible outcome. I'd say shoot for a different show, because your body's not going to process things nearly as well, and you're going to have a horrible response. But that's only this show. Like, it's like, kind of what's the excuse for the past shows?
Okay, so we have Rafael Brando in 6th. God, I hate. Okay, here we go. Then it was Mo Fuda in 7th. I agree with Bobby. I think he was overlooked because I think he probably should have beat Brando. I don't see him beating Curry, but I do see him beating Brando personally. Maybe it's just the back.
The toss up for me.
Realistically, I see. 4th place should have gone to Brandon. 5th could have gone to Mo.
It could have,
and then Martin could have been. And let me preface by saying this. Martin would smoke almost everyone up on that stage when he's on.
Proglook could have won this show,
but this Martin fell way far behind. Like, this was way off. So I think he should have fallen, and Mo should have beat him.
I can agree with that.
That's my take.
Yeah, great showing for Mo, though. Great improvements. The Pete Tour filters were not too far off, at least.
Yes, conditioning was great. It wasn't mind blowing, but he was in shape.
Yeah,
he looked good.
Yeah, I feel like
his back is better.
Again, I honestly wonder how much of this is a lighting thing, just because I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around Hottie looking like that, man. We've never seen Hottie that soft from the back.
We'll think about everything that just went on, though.
I understand that, but
that is so much stress.
Still, man, like, that's mind blowing.
Well, you also got to think too. If you don't have a coach that's on your ass, doing everything, especially at that level, you could fumble the bag. So he's like, "Oh man, I'm not crisp enough. I need to." Maybe he did more cardio than he needs to do.
Maybe.
And he just came in and blamed, because the front was really peeled.
The front was honestly one of the better hotties we've seen, I think, from the front. He was big. His legs looked like they were symmetrical finally. Like, it looked like he figured out a way to fix that issue, but I almost wonder if maybe they looked more even just because he wasn't in quite as good a shape.
That's kind of how I saw it. Like, we all know what goes into this sport, man. That's what makes it so exciting. There's so many variables. Like, half of these guys could have used insulin. Half of them might not have. You don't know what went into the last 24 hours going into the show. Like, it could have, one wrong move can absolutely bomb the looks for these guys.
Yeah.
But one positive note I will say with Hottie is I absolutely loved his back in the rear lat spread.
The back itself was enormous.
Wide as a fucking house. Like, that was one thing Nick couldn't hang with him on, was that back width.
Yeah.
Lower body was light years behind him, but I will say that the back lat spread on Hottie was pretty nuts.
Yeah, it was.
The way that he opens up.
I still give him all the Nick, like, just the whole picture.
Oh yeah,
like you said.
Oh yeah, I'm just giving him his props there, because that way he opens up his lat spread is so wide, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, the waist included, but really, like, everything from his pec up is ridiculous. It's just absurd. And then the back included that as well. It's just like his forearms are kind of weirdly small, but then his biceps, they kind of insert up high, but it's a big ass arm. It looked comparable to Nick's in the most muscular, which is Nick.
A lot of oil in there.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
A lot of oil.
There probably is.
Someone had to say it.
If the forearm isn't keeping up with the actual arm, there's probably some
Maybe
oil going in there.
You guys think Nick has put any oil in his body?
Oh, he's a Jansen,
No.
he's a Jansenite, so I'm sure at some point he did, but probably not now. Jansen like reportedly had all of his guys shoot all their shit in their biceps and triceps like religiously. Like
Well, wait, hold up. Wait. Putting stuff in there or SEO?
a little bit of both.
Like putting your gear in there or SEO?
I've heard both sides. I've heard both stories of it, but again, it's secondhand information, so it's not a fact. It's just something I've heard repeated by people that supposedly know things.
You think Clarita put anything in there?
Clarita looks like he could have dabbled, honestly, some years, but then that's the thing. Like this past year, clean as a whistle. I don't think there was anything wrong this past year.
I don't see John Jewett fucking with that stuff.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I do. I bet John did. I bet John does.
I bet you John's a little rat.
Again, I think like in the past, yeah.
I bet John's so good at doing it.
Okay, so
Whatever he does, he's good at.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Just kind of like an interesting little side topic. Are we talking like oil, or are we talking like the old school shit, like Escalene? Like just like pumping the muscle up for that particular
I don't think anyone can access Escalene anymore.
I think
I bet Pete's more.
You think some people got some...
I think guys like
Yeah,
guys like Hottie can probably get whatever the fuck they want, realistically.
I think there's other stuff like hyaluronic acid and stuff like that, but I hear they don't even make Escalene anymore. But some of these guys might have their own chemists.
That's
Well,
another
I
thing
mean,
too. Yeah.
They say like, oh, the person died with their formula. No. You kidding me? It's like no one figured out how to make it.
Did you guys see the AJ Kelly Robert thing talking about his Iranian GH?
Yeah. I thought that was kind of silly, man. Honestly,
What would they say?
he said you only need to take four IUs of this Iranian GH because it's so much stronger. I'm like, okay, that means they dosed it 4 times. And
Probably 40.
Yeah,
40.
it's 40s, and they just
It's
didn't fucking tell you. Yeah,
It's 100 IU bio. Like, yeah, you only need to take. You only need to take to the 40 mark. We fill it up with 1 mil.
yeah. And he's like, I just kept getting leaner and leaner, and I didn't hold any water. It's like, okay, well, maybe they put a diuretic in there. You know, that is something that they can do.
I'm not in the pharma GH camp.
No,
I've never tried it, so I can't say, but I don't think I will.
Everybody I ever known who has tried it right now is using generic. That's what I'll say about it.
Yeah.
There just doesn't really seem to be a reason for it. But kind of rounding out the rest of the top 10 here, we got in 8th place, Akeem Williams. I don't really think there's too much to say there. It's the same Akeem we've seen. Great bodybuilder. Unfortunately, his back just holds him back from ever placing much higher in shows like this.
Great side leg, though.
I did not realize. Yeah, wicked side leg. I did not realize they placed Hassan Mustafa above Anthony Williams.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That's kind of wild. Okay.
Muscularity.
Yeah, but Hassan's just 8 weeks out. That's the problem. Man, that's crazy. And it's like a pretty... Wow. Okay, that's actually kind of suspicious. They had straight 50-50 on prejudging and finals for... So it was a clear-cut decision that they had him in last place.
Interesting.
That's kind of strange.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, so Hassan 9th,
What I miss?
Anthony. So basically, they play. I didn't realize. Did you know they placed Anthony Williams in 10th?
Whoa.
I didn't realize that.
Really?
Just now. Yeah, they placed Hassan over Anthony Williams.
Because you got to earn your stripes again, huh? Is that what they're having people do?
I guess we're going back to that bullshit, eh?
Oh, like, you know, I love Anthony's look.
His legs are just a little undersized.
I think it's fucking... Bro, but that fucking waist to fucking everything ratio. It's just fucking...
I
Give him a couple of years.
You're like, he looks AI.
Yeah, he looks great. It's literally like it's the legs. That's it. His upper body's there. I really don't think like, and maybe that's just something that I hyperfixate on because that's been my situation for as long as I've been a bodybuilder. But like, I'd have him doing 3 leg days, and I'm sure John probably does already. I'm sure John programs him very intelligently.
You think after the second call out, they're like, yeah, it's fucking
Probably.
whatever.
Probably, honestly.
I mean, let's be realistic. There, especially remember when there was like 30 competitors at the men's Open Olympia.
Yeah.
And they're probably just like, after third call, just fucking put them wherever.
Well, they literally, I think they don't score it much past 16th. It's just DNP after that. Did not
they don't, but I mean, if you're in the last spot,
yeah. Still,
I'll take last at the Olympia.
Yeah. Still, I was gonna say it's still a dream.
I'd be happy to be there.
Just a dream to be there. So I'm sure people with a good head on their shoulders, they're not looking at it like Sean Ray does, where you're window dressing. Unless it's your fourth one, then that might be a problem. But yeah,
I mean, putting Hassan over Anthony,
it's a little.
Hassan's only really come in like crazy looking good with AJ.
Yep.
Though I'm not really a fan of full churning.
Yeah.
And the methods old cement factory does to get people looking cement granite hard.
It turns their kidneys into cement.
Yeah, and the liver, it's fucking done.
Yeah. Well,
my own thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think we need to end before we get canceled.
Just hating on all the coaches too, just quick.
Yeah. Well, Nick proved it that if you have a good head on your shoulders, it doesn't matter who your coach is. It can be yourself. I will say a lot of people can't coach themselves. I could never, but anything is possible.
Well, maybe the reason Nick does so well is because Nick's his own best friend too. No one likes Nick more than Nick likes himself.
This is something I was thinking about too, though. Nick has a really thick skin, and Nick has been getting criticized heavily, more than almost anybody in the IFBB. Hell, before he was even in the IFBB, back in his NPC days.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just he already hears so much shit. It's like somebody, because this is a lot of things you hear about guys getting self-coached. It's like X, Y, or Z person says something about them, then that reflects their actions, right? Like, oh, my legs are not in. I'm going to go do more on those stairs. Shit like that. Nick's is stable. Like, a guy like Martin who is fairly unstable mentally, Nick's the fucking opposite. Nick is like a rock mentally. I really believe that. Mm-hmm. So I think with someone who is that mentally stable and someone who is a seasoned veteran who truly knows their body, like for example, me and Brad's coach, Joe Pritchard, just started to coach himself. I think he's in a very good position to coach himself because he's got a great knowledge base. He's a very, very stable person and knows his shit, knows his body. He's been doing it for 10 plus years. I think once you have earned your stripes in that sense, you can look to coach yourself if it's something you want to do. I think it'll always be easier to not coach yourself, but what's easier and what's best are not always the same thing.
Well, my coach actually coaches himself too. Chris Catherine, he brings himself in fucking peeled and big.
Yeah.
I think you have to be very, very just headstrong to do it, and then just separate your emotions from what you're seeing. Like I remember Justin Compton, he would say that he wouldn't even look at his face.
Yeah, he cut it off in pictures.
In his jackets, and I mean that'd still be fucking really hard to do. I'm sure John Dewitt does the same thing, but I'm sure for Nick, his mom's been there.
Oh yeah,
the whole time. So I'm sure she's like looking at him, and okay, Nick, and she's going to be very blunt, honest.
Yeah,
and I think that's what Nick was lacking for people. I think he was surrounded by a lot of yes people, and just people trying to like make him feel good or whatever. When really he does his best when he's just like has someone who's honest, says this is what we need to do. Get it done. He's probably like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. But regardless of Nick not winning, I think this was a really big step for him, momentum-wise. And he seems to be very gracious in defeat, which is something we can all learn from. All of us can get better at that in some way. Class act well around. Like that is a true representative of the sport. Gracious in defeat. Made an awesome post about it that I would encourage everybody to go see. This is not the end for him. Me and Max were talking about this on one of our podcasts. It might have been our first podcast together where I think Nick can just go on a killing spree, or maybe it was the last podcast we did together with Madison.
Yep.
He could just go on a killing spree, man. Get the Detroit title, get the Arnold UK title, get the Andrew's going to be there, so they probably wouldn't do that, but just get show after show after show.
No, hold it. Crazier things have happened though.
Yeah.
Crazier things have happened. Yeah. Ronnie Coleman's lost to Gunther.
Yeah.
You should never know.
Yeah, so he should just look to get that bread, and he walked away with like 250 from this Arnold, so good
I think
place.
260 with the most muscular award, right?
Oh yeah, it's a 260, yeah. So
this sort of solidifies Andrew, Samson, and Derek as the most likely top three. So if all three of those guys aren't in a show, I think it's Nick's has a great chance of winning one of them. So
yeah,
I'm not saying that's what he's going to do, but there's no that's something to be extremely proud of, to be able to win a top level show.
Yeah, and we're not to cut you off, just the last thing I wanted to say on Nick. Regardless on what his legacy is of winning Olympias or winning Arnolds, he's already won an Arnold, so at least he does have that. But I think if he's looking at a bigger picture, legacy thing, I think he could be somebody that could potentially rival Dexter in the most winningest bodybuilder if he wanted to be.
Yeah, do you think that's that should be his next move? If I mean, obviously the goal is gonna always to win the Olympia, but I agree. I think he just needs to take a couple seasons where he goes on a big run of shows and see how that goes for him. Especially now where we were talking about earlier, with using minimal PEDs, he really could do that safely,
Yeah.
Because obviously that's the bit. Well, besides the time commitment and the stress of traveling for shows and stuff. But obviously early in your career, when you still need to push off seasons and stuff, you don't want to be competing all year just because of the potential health ramifications. But I think that would be cool to see him do a big run of shows, especially the big ones in the States, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And it could maybe help his waist too, staying in a deficit for that long. Honestly, if anything's going to do it, it could be that, just throwing ideas out there.
Wait. You guys think he actually pushes food? I don't think he pushes anymore.
No.
I think he probably stays at a maintenance.
No, but I mean, it's going to be lower in a deficit or in a prep situation.
What's a maintenance for him though? Because I'm sure he's still eating around 4,000 or 5,000 calories, which I mean, that could be pretty rough on digestion doing that year round.
Maybe you really never know. Another genetic component is just being very
robust,
utilizing food so well. Rami, Shadow talked about that with Rami. Is he didn't have to feed him fuck all.
Yeah,
he was eating 6-7 ounce portions of.
But then
protein.
he had to suffer to get in shape though. Then that's the other side of that.
Well, I know watching videos sorry, I was just going to say, watching Nick's videos a couple of years ago, he did have to push food, not an extreme amount like some guys do, but I'm sure his off seasons would be 7, maybe 8,000 calories when he was really pushing for size. Obviously, he doesn't need to do that now, but I mean, I don't think he's someone that is quote unquote efficient with the food.
That's fair.
Well, I remember hearing James say when he's working with Patrick that he was only pushing 5,000. And that was the peak that they got up to, which isn't crazy for someone who's 280, 290.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I feel I've heard James say he has to push into 8 before for a show. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Both of these guys are very comfortable holding a low body fat percentage as well.
Yeah.
Well, at that biggest size and dieting down that many times, it's probably pretty hard for them to get fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say they probably actually have to try.
Nick for sure stayed single-digit body fat this the entirety of last year, for sure. Everything we saw, at least.
Yep. I'm so glad he's back.
That also makes the preps way easier too.
Yes, yeah, for sure. But I think
less health implications, better sleep. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, keep that in mind too. A lot of these huge guys, even on prep, their food doesn't get that low. I mean, there might be a couple weeks of digging, but digging is probably between 3,000 and 4,000 calories for some of these guys. And then they're going into the show, they're loading on a shit ton of food. So, just speaking on Nick's waist in general, being in that deficit, I don't know, will that really do much for his waist if he's still if he still needs to eat like that.
The reason I say that is I don't know about you guys, but I could literally be eating the same amount of calories in a surplus or a deficit. When I'm in a deficit at all, my digestion is so cranked. I'm running through food like I'll have an empty stomach all day. And when I have an empty stomach, I can pull a vacuum and I can really work on my waist control. So that would be kind of the angle that I would think of that his waist could improve, because if you always have an empty stomach, if it's barely anything in your GI tract, compared, obviously digestion still takes a very long time, but just compared to an off season, it's like very minuscule differences that we're talking about. But I think there's plenty of other good reasons for him to hit a run of shows. That could just be one of them. Maybe he gets better waist control along the way.
I wonder if he potentially pulled out the GLP drug this prep.
I'd be interested to hear him talk about that.
Maybe that's why he had better waist.
Yeah.
Potentially.
It wasn't really like, it's not like distension that he's dealing with. It's just
human
a lot
control.
of
He's fucking huge, man. Give him a break.
He's got a lot of muscularity in his midsection,
Yeah.
and if he's not pulling it in, it just looks huge.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like, it has nothing to do with digestion and distension or anything like that.
No.
Yeah, like if you had some freeze frames where his waist was perfectly in and Andrew's waist was perfectly in, they're the same fucking size. In the ab and thigh specifically. I remember I saw a few shots of that.
They're purposely trying to gas these guys too.
I thought that was kind of bullshit. Steve was literally just doing that to get Nick out.
Yeah.
Steve always does that though. He loves doing that.
It's like my least favorite part about bodybuilding. I really don't want to get tripped up on that this year, man.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say about that because that could actually affect me. But, yeah.
Save that for the Discord.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at about an hour and 45 minutes here. I think this is a good point to stop it at. Covered two good physique critiques and a little bit of Arnold talk towards the end there. So, yeah, unless there's anything else you guys want to end with.
I love bodybuilding.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited for the season.
Too,
the season's back in swing. Like, this is the first of many.
Nick is back.
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, I don't mean to glaze Nick anymore, but just the way that he handled himself post-show.
Yeah.
I think every professional should handle themselves exactly how he did.
Yeah.
And that is a true indicator of how the sport should be represented.
Absolutely.
You take that loss in stride and you congratulate the winner.
Yep.
I think plenty of people could take that advice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's part of the responsibility of being a professional athlete. You're a public figure, and you need to conduct yourself like that, right? I was a little surprised. I honestly was a little surprised to read that post, though. Like I wouldn't necessarily expect that from Nick, but it just goes to show like how much he has like matured over the last couple of years. Because not that like he would crash out like someone else did, but like he would often make post show about like being disappointed about placings and stuff, and so it was definitely I think like this year's definitely gonna be pivotal for him. Like he's kind of been, I wouldn't say on like the downward trend, but it's been very rocky for him the last couple of years. So I think this is like just everything that went down at the Arnold. It's just like it's like a really good start to the year for him.
It's still a win. It's still a win for him, absolutely. Like
he pumped out that caption quick.
Yeah.
Like he accepted his placing like immediately.
Let's be real. Like, did he? Now everyone goes into every show thinking they're going to win, but did he really think he was probably going to win this Arnold?
Yeah,
after prejudging, maybe.
I mean, like before stepping on stage, not after prejudging.
I mean, when you're competing against Andrew, like I feel like there's got to be at least an ounce of doubt in your mind, just knowing how good he is, and even if he's not perfect, like he's a contender for pretty much any show, winning any show. So like, there's got to be an ounce of doubt in his head. Yeah. But I mean, Nick's always confident, like as he should be. So I don't think he's naive enough to go into a show like that thinking like I have this in the bag. But
he didn't go into that thinking it was going to be a clean sweep. He expected Hottie to be on. He expected Martin to be on. He expected Andrew to be on. And, after prejudging that thought, that's a different story. But you got to remember, not too long ago, he was 6th place, and some people were arguing he should have been lower. And he beat number 2 in the world, Hottie, and number 3 in the world, Andrew. So this is still a big win for him.
Yeah,
I know
he's always wanted to beat Hottie.
That is something that he's a big fan of too, is kind of number chasing there. Like, I remember back in the days of, like, he wanted to beat this guy because he placed this at the Olympia, and he was probably beyond that now, but I do know that means something to him.
I really think him missing out on those Olympias matured him, like, quite a bit. And I mean, not to go back, but I mean, he's a huge family guy. He's a mama's boy.
Yeah,
I am, or I was too. If I got my mom backstage telling me, you fucking look killer, like, go get what's yours, I would have no fucking ounce of fear in me.
Yeah,
for sure.
And he brought his best. You can always take solace when you brought your best. Like, if it's an off look and something went wrong, that's where you can start to play head games with yourself. But if it's truly your best and your best just wasn't deemed good enough that day, that's all you can do.
I don't think there's anything. There's literally nothing he could have done better in the prep as far as, like, as we're concerned, that would have brought him up in the placing there. So yeah.
All right. Well, to all you who made it to the end of this, thank you for watching. Leave us a 5-minute crew comment, and if you would like your physique critiqued on another episode of the show, you can DM me on Instagram, or any of us for that matter. And I should probably get into a habit of saying this more, but if you're enjoying the content on the channel, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're approaching 200 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. Did not think that starting this 8 months ago, I didn't think anybody's gonna watch this shit. So to see, like, the channel starting to grow has been pretty cool. So I just wanted to thank everybody for that. But yeah, this has been another episode of the Iron Obsession podcast. Thank you guys for watching.